Think about your days so far. Did you search for something online, maybe check a map, or watch a video? Well, chances are you were using a product overseen by just one person. The scale is, honestly, it's pretty hard to imagine. So today, we're digging into the story of the man at the helm, Sundar Pichai, and how his incredible journey ended up shaping the technology we all use every single day. And just to wrap your head around that scale, take a look at this number. Over 2 billion. That's how many active Android devices there are out there in the world. And remember, Android is just one of the massive products under his leadership. And that really brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. How on earth did one person's vision and their journey from India come to shape the digital world for literally billions of people? To answer that, we've got to get inside the mind behind Google's entire modern era. Because Sundar Pichai isn't just the CEO of Google anymore. He's now running the whole show at its parent company, Alphabet. You know, his story doesn't kick off in some Silicon Valley garage. It starts with a pretty modest beginning that actually laid the foundation for a world-class education and a truly unique analytical way of thinking. Pichai was born in Madurai, India, and grew up in Chennai. He came from a humble background. His dad was an electrical engineer, which you have to think instilled a really early appreciation for how things work, for technology. And get this, even as a kid, there were these little signs of a pretty remarkable intellect. He was famous for his memory. Apparently, he could recall every single phone number he'd ever dialed. I mean, that's more than just a party trick. It pointed to this incredibly powerful analytical mind he'd become famous for. This educational path he took, this is where his unique strategy really starts to show. See, he didn't just go deep on the technical side. He combined it with a high-level business degree from Wharton. So you've got engineering, material science, and business know-how. This trifecta, it basically became his superpower.
And it's not like he just jumped straight to Google. First, he really sharpened his skills in product strategy, working at Applied Materials and then as a consultant at McKinsey. He was learning how to connect really complex technology to what people in the real world actually need.
So all that background, it turned out to be absolutely crucial when he walked through Google's doors in 2004. He didn't just get a job there. He started leading products that would literally redefine the internet as we know it. His first project, though, wasn't exactly glamorous. He was put in charge of the Google Toolbar, that little browser extension. But it was so critical. By making Google search dead simple to access, that toolbar massively boosted its usage and kept everyone right there in the Google ecosystem. That success led to a way bigger challenge. At the time, the web browser world was completely owned by one player, Microsoft's Internet Explorer. So the question was, how could Google possibly go up against a giant like that? The answer was to just build something fundamentally better. Pichai pushed for the development of Google Chrome, and the difference was night and day. Where Internet Explorer was slow, clunky, and honestly not very secure, Chrome was built from the ground up to be faster, way simpler, and safer. For users, it was a no-brainer. And wow, the launch of Chrome was a massive, massive success. It was truly his career-defining moment. It cemented his reputation as a product visionary, a real star inside the company who could take on these impossible challenges and actually win. So after changing the browser game, what do you do next? Well, Pichai took over another massive division, Android, the open-source mobile operating system that, today, powers the huge majority of smartphones on the entire planet. And his strategy for Android was just beautiful in its simplicity. Step 1, keep it open source. Step 2, let any company that makes phones use it for free. The result of that? Android hit a global scale that a closed system like Apple's iOS could just never touch. So, with a track record of building two of the world's most successful tech products, his path to the top jobs started to feel, well, almost inevitable. But his promotion also signaled the rise of a totally new kind of tech leader. So what made him the right choice? It really comes down to what's now known as the Pitchai playbook. He wasn't that typical aggressive CEO. His whole style was defined by thinking about the product first, being calm and diplomatic, having a long-term vision, and this amazing ability to empower his teams. This quote really just nails it, right? It was that super rare combination of deep, deep product knowledge with a calm, collaborative way of managing people that made him stand out. It made him the perfect leader for a company as huge and complex as Google. And just look at this timeline, it shows you that meteoric rise visually. He joins in 2004, and just 11 years later, he's CEO of Google. A few years after that, he's running the entire parent company, Alphabet. I mean, what a rapid and incredible journey. So, where does all of that leave him today? Well, as CEO of Alphabet, his job has gotten way bigger. It's not just about building products anymore. It's about navigating these huge global challenges and trying to shape the next era of technology. And this chart gives you a sense of just how big that job is. He's not just overseeing search and Android. Now it's also YouTube, the fast-growing cloud division, and of course, Google's massive investments in artificial intelligence. But when you lead one of the world's most powerful companies, you are under a microscope constantly. Today, he's facing intense competition in AI from rivals like OpenAI. He's dealing with antitrust lawsuits, and there are always those persistent concerns about user privacy. In his response to all this pressure, it isn't just to play defense. He's trying to refocus the entire company around one big idea, making Google an AI-first company. He believes AI is the next huge technological wave, just like the internet and mobile were before it. And, through all of it, the massive successes, the huge challenges, the incredible innovation, he's still guided by this simple but really powerful philosophy that started it all. Focus on the user, and everything else will follow. It's a principle that took him from a modest home in Chennai all the way to the absolute top of the tech world.